Pradedame Seimo posėdį skirtą Respublikos Prezidento Gitano Nausėdos.
Dedicated for the swearing in of Gitanas Nausėda, President of the Republic of Lithuania. The sitting is attended by the Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė, President of the Constitutional Court Gintaras Goda, former President of the Republic Valdas Adamkus, former President of the Republic Dalia Grybauskaitė, signatories to the Act of Lithuania's independence, members of government, foreign ambassadors, members of the Seimas, members of the European Parliament, heads of traditional and other religious communities and groups recognized by the state, and other distinguished guests. I invite His Excellency President of the Republic of Lithuania, Gitanas Nausėda.
Jo Ekscelencija, Respublikos Prezidentas Gitanas
President of the Republic of Lithuania, Gitanas Nausėda, with the First Lady Gitana Nausėdienė.
Kviečiu Jo Ekscelenciją Vilniaus arkivyskupą metropolitą Gintarą Grušą invokacijai.
Archbishop of Vilnius Gintaras Grušas for the invocation. Today we are gathered to mark an important moment in our history, the beginning of the second term of office of President Gitanas Nausėda. On this solemn and auspicious occasion, we ask for the Almighty God's blessing and protection for the President and the entire nation. We turn to you, Lord, with hearts full of gratitude and hope at the beginning of the second term of office of the President of Lithuania, Gitanas Nausėda. We thank you for the gift of leadership and the opportunity to serve our beloved nation. We ask for your blessings on him, on our nation, and on our country. Bless our President with wisdom, courage, honesty, and magnanimity. May he lead with a heart committed to justice, peace, and the well-being of all citizens. Give him strength in the face of challenges and wisdom to take decisions that respect your will and serve the common good. Lord, we pray for all the elected and civil servants, officials and advisors who will work alongside our President. Inspire them and give them a spirit of cooperation and unity so that they may work together in our country to develop policies that promote prosperity, equality, and harmony. May our country continue to grow in strength, honor, and dignity under your protection, Lord. Help us to uphold the values of freedom, democracy, and respect for all people. May the light of your truth guide us as we strive to build a society that reflects your love and justice. In this time of opportunities and of challenges, we ask, Lord, for your protection for our land and its people. Bless the Lithuanian armed forces, of which the President is Commander-in-Chief, and all those who serve to ensure Lithuania's freedom and peace. We pray for peace for the whole world, especially for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine and in other countries around the world that lack harmony. Bless our efforts to promote understanding and peace among nations and in our communities. As we celebrate this inauguration, we remember our shared civic responsibility to contribute to the prosperity of our country. Inspire us, Lord, to work together with dedication and compassion, to support our elected representatives and to help each other for a better future. We are citizens of Lithuania, of Europe, and of the whole world. We are responsible for the homes entrusted to us and for our brothers and sisters. Let the examples of the past inspire us. Let the vision of the future oblige us to work and sacrifice today. May Almighty God, who lives and reigns forever, bless us and our country.
Dėkojame Jo Ekscelencijai Vilniaus arkivyskupo.
We thank His Eminence, Archbishop Metropolitan Grušas of Vilnius, Honorable President of the Constitutional Court, Mr. Gintaras Goda. Please acquaint us with the procedure for administering the oath of the President of the Republic and administer the oath. I now hand over the chairing of the sitting to Jurgis Razma, First Deputy Speaker of the Seimas.
Respublikos Prezidento Gitano Nausėdos.
Your Excellency, President Nausėda, Madam Speaker, and honorable members of the Seimas, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to explain the procedure for taking the oath of office of the President of the Republic of Lithuania. According to the Constitution of the Republic of Lithuania, the President-elect of the Republic shall take office after he, in Vilnius, in the presence of the representatives of the nation, the members of the Seimas, takes an oath to the nation to be faithful to the Republic of Lithuania and the Constitution, to conscientiously fulfill the duties of his office, and to be equally just to all. In line with the law on the President of the Republic shall take the oath of office at a sitting of the Seimas in the building of the Seimas of the Republic of Lithuania. President-elect Gitanas Nausėda, you shall take the oath of office while standing in front of me as President of the Constitutional Court, who shall administer the oath. You shall read the text of the oath while holding your hand on the Constitution of the Republic of Lithuania. Upon having read the oath of office of the President, you shall sign the act of oath. The text of the oath of the President of the Republic shall not be amended or changed. The law on the President of the Republic of Lithuania stipulates that non-compliance with this provision, as well as refusal to take an oath at a sitting of the Seimas, refusal to sign the act of oath, or signing with reservations, shall mean that the President of the Republic has not taken an oath and therefore may not execute the office of the President. Following your signature of the act of oath, I shall countersign it. My countersigning of the act of oath shall be followed by the singing of the national anthem. After the singing of the national anthem, the act of oath of the President of the Republic shall be handed to the Speaker of the Seimas and kept in the office of the Seimas. This will complete the ceremony of taking the oath of the President of the Republic to the nation. During the oath-taking ceremony, everyone in the Seimas plenary hall shall be standing. This obligation certainly does not apply to those who, due to objective reasons, cannot fulfill it. President-elect Gitanas Nausėda, I invite you now to take the oath of office of President to the Lithuanian nation.
Aš, Gitanas Nausėda,
I, Gitanas Nausėda, swear to the nation to be faithful to the Republic of Lithuania and the Constitution, to respect and observe laws, to protect the integrity of the territories of Lithuania. Swear to conscientiously execute the office of President of the Republic and to be equally just to all. Swear to strengthen, to the best of my ability, the independence of Lithuania and to serve my homeland, democracy, and the well-being of the people of Lithuania. So help me God.
2024 metų Liepos 12 dieną
The oath of office of the President of the Republic, Gitanas Nausėda, administered at the sitting of the 12th of July 2024 of the Seimo of the Republic of Lithuania, is hereby accepted. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Republic of Lithuania.
Gerbiamoji Seimo pirmininkė,
Madam Speaker of the Seimas, I hereby hand over to you the oath of office of the President of the Republic of Lithuania for safekeeping in the Seimas of the Republic of Lithuania. This completes the swearing-in ceremony of the President of the Republic, Gitanas Nausėda, and from this moment, the President of the Republic assumes the office of President.
Dėkojame Konstitucinio Teismo.
I thank the President of the Constitutional Court, Gintaras Goda, and give the floor to the Speaker of the Seimas, Čmilytė-Nielsen, for her welcome address.
Ekscelencija Respublikos Prezidentė Gitano Nausėda.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic Gitanas Nausėda, Madam First Lady, President Valdas Adamkus, President Dalia Grybauskaitė, Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė, President of the Constitutional Court, Your Eminence Archbishop, Excellencies, Ambassadors, fellow members of Parliament, distinguished guests of the presidential inauguration, ladies and gentlemen. The state does not emerge at a blink of an eye. The ideas of statehood are developed by people at a certain period in time. In turn, the state is the result of the lengthy and often anonymous yet consistent and targeted action by a large number of politicians and people in general. The idea of the Lithuanian statehood was declared at the beginning of the last century on the 16th of February 1918, and then again at the turn of the century on the 11th of March 1990. However, the declaration itself, as an important impetus for building the state, did not automatically result in the creation of the public authorities in the state which provide the operating field for the political community. The proclamation of independence in 1990 and the adoption of the Provisional Basic Law opened the process of the constitutional development of the restored Lithuanian state. On the 25th of October 1992, together with the first round of the parliamentary elections, a constitutional referendum was held. The adoption of the Constitution laid the regulatory foundation for the political community and defined the state as common good. Moreover, the Constitution introduced the institution of the President or the head of state. In early 1993, the first presidential elections were held in Lithuania. The Constitutional Court became operational on the 15th of September the same year, completing the process of building the state as a system of governmental institutions which had lasted 3.5 years. Last year, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of Lithuania's full-fledged institutional operation. Through these years, the institution of the President also developed and evolved in terms of its content and manner of operation and experienced a number of shocks. We had a range of presidents, diverse in their ways of operation and in their impact on the development of the Lithuanian statehood. It was not an easy process. This was partly due to the fact that the debate on the Constitution in search of a compromise between the presidential and parliamentary forms of government resulted in the introduction of the parliamentary rule featuring the traits of the semi-presidential model. Unlike in neighboring Latvia and Estonia, where presidents are elected by parliaments and have a more symbolic, representative power, the Lithuanian president is elected by universal suffrage, which usually ensures the highest level of voter attention and turnout. This significantly strengthens the status of the presidents, but also creates certain risks. On the one hand, the president is associated with high expectations, which unfortunately are sometimes exaggerated without taking into account the actual powers of the institution. On the other hand, there's a temptation not only to make promises but also to engage in institutional competition in order to demonstrate the role and boost the importance and value. All this can be overcome in the recognition that we all, including the president, are members of a nation and national team whose concerted action is the key to the success and prosperity of the whole country. I'm convinced that we need to think more often, especially bearing in mind the international context, in the categories of mutual assistance, support, understanding, and teamwork. This is where the significance of political culture, tactfulness, and the political personality in general comes to the fore. Government is not there to solve all our problems. This expectation cannot be met, nor should it be cultivated. Government is there to unite the country and ensure the general welfare of society. Sometimes we are required to set aside our political ambitions, as if by doing so we can reach a consensus. I think that this kind of rhetoric is both unrealistic and even damaging. Politics is about acting on ambition, in fact. Another thing is that in politics, ambitions must be directed towards statehood without compromising on them. This way, we will definitely achieve our national goals. On the 26th of February 1998, the newly elected and sworn-in President Valdas Adamkus said here in the Seimas, in this hall, when addressing the people of Lithuania, "Today, after taking an oath to serve the nation and homeland, first of all, I remember all those feelings that I experienced in the many meetings with you. I realized then that the power of one person, be it the president, would never be sufficient to perform a miracle based solely on faith in a better and fairer future, which we all so sincerely desire. In a particularly short period of time, Lithuania has undergone a massive change, flouncing from one often conflicting extreme to another, trying to make a guess which option is the correct one. This should not be the case anymore. Lithuania must enter the 21st century to embrace a fulfilling life. There's only way to achieve this: unity and concerted effort towards a common goal. This unity is built on political and human agreements, based and focused on democracy, boosting prosperity for people and security for the country. Lithuania has long entered the 21st century, but the words by President Valdas Adamkus have remained meaningful ever since. And I believe that they will continue to be so, because the state does not emerge at a blink of an eye. It is a long and sometimes very strenuous endeavor, which we will continue to pursue together. My congratulations to Your Excellency, President. I wish you strength and wise decisions. Thank you.
Maloniai kviečiu žodį tarti, jog
I'm pleased to invite His Excellency President Nausėda to take the floor, and I now hand over the chairing of the sitting to Viktorija Čmilytė-Nielsen, Speaker of the Seimas.
Brangus Lietuvos žmonės,
Dear fellow people of Lithuania, Madam Speaker of the Seimas, Prime Minister, Excellencies, Presidents, distinguished members of the Seimas, dear guests. By the clearly expressed will of the people of Lithuania, I took the presidential oath for the second time. For the second time, I pledged to the nation to protect and strengthen Lithuania, to serve the homeland, democracy, and the well-being of the Lithuanian people. In the 5 years between the first and the second oath, we have achieved a great deal together. We have strengthened the state. Throughout all the crises and upheavals, we have not only preserved its economy, but also extended a helping hand to the people, securing their jobs and incomes. We have reduced exclusion. We have been building a Lithuania that cares for those who need care and assistance the most today. Though we have often argued, we created a stronger, fairer, greener, and more innovative Lithuania. Unfortunately, in those 5 years, the world has moved closer to the abyss. It has moved faster, further, and more dangerously than any of us could have anticipated. What seemed impossible in 2019 has become a new reality. By developing technologies such as artificial intelligence, humanity today stands on the verge of a major technological turning point. This turning point will transform science and industry, the labor market, and human interaction. At the same time, humanity stands on the brink of self-destruction. Climate change, pandemics, and war. Over the past 5 years, we have witnessed many realistic scenarios of humanity obliterating itself or returning to the dark ages, where might makes right and history is written by the more brutal one. In today's world, Lithuania is not a safe and quiet retreat. Just 600 kilometers from Vilnius, Ukraine is in the third year of a war the likes of which Europe has not seen in 80 years. Just a few dozen kilometers away is the unsafe Astrovets nuclear power plant. Our state, whose territorial integrity and independence we have sworn to protect, borders two of the most dangerous countries in Europe. But we have the courage and determination of our people, the strength of our friends, and the most precious resource that Ukraine has won for all of us, which is time. Time to prepare properly.
Todėl šiuo egzistencinio pavojaus Lietuvai
Therefore, at this moment of existential danger to Lithuania, national security will be one of my most important tasks as president, because if there is no state, there is nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, today, as I look ahead to 2029, I see Lithuania as a model for all of NATO in strengthening defense. Defense funding has exceeded 3.5% of GDP for several years now and is now approaching 4%, enabling us to implement long-range air defense plans. The Baltic coast is protected by a missile shield, and engineered fortifications guard the land borders. In 2029, Lithuania will be completing the development of its division's core capabilities and conducting exercises with a German brigade and a US battalion stationed in our country. The new division will be equipped with long-range HIMARS artillery, the latest tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and Lithuanian-made drones. The traditional Thunder Bastion drills will involve companies responsible for vital state functions ranging from food production to logistics, alongside newly formed and trained commandant resistance units. In 2029, the people of Lithuania will be acutely aware that we have but one state, and everyone must be prepared to defend it. We must begin moving in this direction today. The first decisive steps have already been taken, but the final result will depend on the speed of our actions. A secure and strong Lithuanian state is not only about tanks and missiles, combat vehicles and drones. We are only as strong as our determination and our ability to effectively inspire friends and allies. In the near future, we will have to work even harder on this. We need a persistent, consistent, and sustained foreign policy. We all need a free and democratic Europe that fights disinformation and attempts to rewrite history. The highest priority, strategic priority for Lithuania, to maintain the relations with the US. Without the United States' involvement, Europe cannot remain united or secure. European security depends first and foremost on the strength of the transatlantic bond. Lithuania has been and will continue to be a staunch supporter of strong transatlantic ties and their indispensability. I will do everything I can to ensure that the United States' focus on Lithuania and our region does not waver. The continued presence of US military forces in Lithuania will remain the strongest and most credible deterrent. Over the past 5 years, I have built relationships based on respect, trust, and often personal friendship with the leaders of many countries and organizations. Our relations with Poland, I would say, are the best they have been in the last 15 years. I believe they will continue to be so. Together, we are working within the 3 Seas initiative and trying to strengthen NATO's eastern flank. Having received the second mandate from the people, I will continue the work started in developing bilateral relations with allies and partners, as well as defending Lithuania's interest in multilateral NATO and European Union forums. Strengthening the security and defense of Lithuania and the entire Baltic region will remain my primary focus. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how large the Lithuanian armed forces are, and regardless of how many friends and allies we will only be as strong as we are united here in Lithuania. Therefore, for me, building a welfare Lithuania and reducing all forms of exclusion is not only a matter of justice but also of national security. Some say that the fight against exclusion is tiring, futile,
Pabandykime tai į akis pasakyti Lietuvos žmonėms.
Try telling that to the people of Lithuania. It would be cruel to say such things to those who are hurting and trying to get out of poverty or avoiding falling into it. Our elderly, our people with disabilities, families raising children, especially single parents and those living in rural areas, certainly deserve better. It is absolutely clear today that policies to reduce exclusion and inequality cannot be left to chance. Automatic market forces, on the contrary, only increase disparities. Reducing exclusion ensures a dignified life for all segments of society and fosters innovation and creativity, enabling people to develop their talents and realize their ideas. Reducing exclusion improves public health by making it easier for people to access healthcare, education, and other essential services and to remain productive longer. Reducing exclusion contributes to political stability by diminishing social tensions. Reducing exclusion creates a more sustainable future for us all by ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to develop and contribute to the well-being of society. In an aging society, much will depend on our ability to ensure a decent life for the oldest members of society. We must better define the rights of the elderly, support them with public services, and expand healthcare and health promotion, lifelong learning, and long-term care. I will initiate and support proposals to ensure that the income of the elderly continues to grow every year, at least up to the European Union average. So far, we have given only fragmented attention to the needs of families. We need to move from a haphazardly administered family policy to a targeted one, well-coordinated and comprehensive policy, with the ambitious goal of becoming the most family-friendly country in Europe. I will therefore seek a consensus among decision-makers on more favorable tax conditions and better access to public services, especially preschool education for families raising children. I will work to expand non-formal education programs for children, thus alleviating the concerns of working parents about their children's activities, and addressing issues such as children's physical and emotional health, drug abuse, and other problems that lead to criminal activity. We must solve the problem of affordable housing through action, not empty words. Likewise, we do not have the right to physically isolate people in any way. We cannot put up with insurmountably steep stairs or inaccessible public information, nor with collapsing bridges, potholed gravel roads, or buses that pass by without stopping every few days. Today, transport in Lithuania, especially in the regions, is a serious problem. Therefore, in the next 5 years, we need to increase the level of investment in the country's transport infrastructure. We need to consistently and sustainably increase funding and improve the roads. We need to ensure regular public transport routes in the regions. Finally, we must complete our integration into the European Union rail network and become a normal European Union country with railways that work and benefit society. Overall, we need to rethink what optimization means and what it brings to Lithuania. We have optimized transport and schools, we are optimizing courts and public services, leaving people with empty buildings and a sense of irrelevance. Again, we must see regional policy as an investment opportunity and not just as an administrative financial burden. Economically attractive jobs in the region will not be created without quality public services, while public services are useless without residents to use them. Reversing the decades-long cycle of centralization will not be easy, but I have no doubt it can be done. All it takes is understanding and political will. When we achieve a significant change in reducing various forms of exclusion, the country will see an increase in what is intangible but highly valuable. We will have a greater sense of justice. We will have even more incentives for citizens to believe, trust, and defend the state. Efforts to ensure that public institutions, officials, and civil servants are truly accountable to the public can contribute to this. In the administration of justice, appropriate legal, financial, and procedural conditions must be in place to ensure that the professionalism and independence of judges are beyond doubt and that everyone who comes before the courts has confidence in them. Courts must be more open to the public and explain their decisions and reasoning. This is not only in the interest of the people, but also in the interest of the courts themselves. Judges should work not only relying on their knowledge, but also possess the necessary personal qualities and inner motivation. The law must be equal for all. This can be ensured only by eliminating privileges for certain groups and by preventing them from claiming special treatment based on perceived uniqueness or merit.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we think about the future of our state, we'll inevitably have to consider global issues. Sooner or later, climate change will knock on every one of our doors. It is already knocking with devastating rains and unbearable heat waves, storms and hurricanes. Humanity is running out of time to stop these irreversible processes. As a small country in area and population, Lithuania will not be able to change humanity's footprint of global warming, but we must do everything to set an example for other countries. We must do it for ourselves too. After all, green and clean Lithuania is a value for everyone. In climate policy, Lithuania's ambitions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 are significantly higher than those of the European Union. Let's achieve them while maintaining and enhancing industrial competitiveness and innovation and moving faster than others towards circular production and consumption systems. Let's reduce the excessive use of plastics from stores to households. Over the past 5 years, Lithuania has already set an example for Europe in the energy sector by breaking away from Russian fossil fuels. We have not only demonstrated that it is possible, but we also help others to achieve energy independence. We cannot stop now. The next 5 years will be crucial for transforming the energy sector and ensuring energy security in real terms, not just in words. The synchronization and integration of Lithuania's electricity system with the European Union's networks, scheduled for February next year, will mark a breakthrough in Lithuania's energy sector. However, this will only be the beginning of the new path. We must learn to walk it without turning reforms into high electricity bills for people. To become a country self-sufficient in electricity by 2029, we must continue to invest consistently in renewable energy sources. This requires not only a regulatory framework that reflects economic realities, but also harmony between green project developers, local communities, and consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is changing faster than we can keep up. Artificial intelligence will reshape what we do and how we do it. Technological advances are already transforming everything: science, industry, and even warfare. Only those countries that can adapt will be strong and secure. We must be prepared for the uncertainty of the future. We must be able to change and adapt, to constantly improve. Lithuania is not rich in minerals. You will not find rare metals here, but we have people, hard-working people, who want to work great and succeed. They are Lithuania's most valuable asset. Therefore, focusing and investment in education, studies and science must be a priority for our country. We do not need loud words or lofty promises. We need the state to trust teachers and schools. We need more autonomy for local municipalities to make decisions. We need investment in teachers' salaries and better working conditions. We need to see every child and to provide them with fair and quality education. In 2029, the education system of Lithuania must be sustainable and adaptive. There must be coherence between education levels and different types of educational institutions. From universal quality preschool education, which provides an important foundation for child's maturity and growth, to third-age universities, we must put an end to the chaotic process of reforms. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge facing every country is economic growth. It fills public finances, creates the conditions for reducing social and regional disparities, provides a basis for improving public services for every citizen, and ensures national security. The next 5 years will not be easy for the economy, and one word will be crucial: productivity. Lithuania's success in increasing productivity will determine the pace of economic development. Therefore, in the coming years, I will be working to improve business access to finance. This is a major structural problem that we have been tackling step by step. We have established the National Development Bank and taken an important decision to borrow 1 billion euros from the European Commission on favorable terms for business investment. This is just the beginning of the road, however. Another task is to significantly increase the National Development Bank's financial resources and lending capacity to the economy. After solving structural problems in business lending and increasing competitiveness through lower energy costs, we will be able to focus all our efforts on innovation. We're living in the age of artificial intelligence. Countries or groups of countries that boldly use AI to drive progress and manage emerging risks will be economic leaders for many long years. Lithuania has demonstrated that although we are small in population, we are exceptionally rich in intellect. Our technology companies are well known and operate globally. Lithuanian lasers, life science products, green technologies, financial engineering, and advanced defense technologies are well-recognized Lithuanian success stories. Can we create another major success story in the age of artificial intelligence? Absolutely yes. Not only we can, but we also must. Words alone will not get us there. We will need more investment in cutting-edge scientific breakthroughs, more investment in upgrading the skills of our workforce, a review of tax and other financial incentives, faster digitization of our industry, and encouragement of foreign capital inflows. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a rapidly changing world. It is difficult to get used to it. It's challenging to prepare for it. In a constantly changing environment, each of us is looking for something stable to lean on. For me, the strongest and the most important support is Lithuanian history and culture. I am convinced that our country is strong to the extent that it relies on its history, knows and lives by its cultural rhythm and heritage, to the extent that it enables the expression and development of free creativity, to the extent that it provides space to present its creation to new generations, to the extent that it can reduce social, economic and territorial disparities through culture. One example of such blend of cultural cultural heritage and innovation that stands out to me is Finland. We must not succumb to the virus of optimization. We must measure the power of culture, its organizational network and infrastructure, not by economic indicators, but by indicators of meaning. This requires informed state action and the involvement of local governments. Municipal engagement, especially in big cities, is essential. Just a week ago, Lithuania and Lithuanians worldwide sang and danced at the Centennial Song Festival. It is a great time to start redirecting our priorities. By promoting better understanding, love, appreciation and protection of Lithuania, let us expand not only the network of roads, but also the network of cultural routes. Let us make museums, mansions, and other cultural institutions more accessible to families, marginalized fellow citizens, and people with disabilities. Let us create the conditions for communities to develop networks that give meaning to the cultural and historical heritage of the regions. It seems to me that we are not yet fully aware of the extent of this heritage and how it can make us more attractive for tourism. I have always strived and will continue to do so for us to appreciate the power of culture, for us to breathe culture, to use it with pride and promote the name of Lithuania in the world. When I talk about culture, I also think about sports. Our attention cannot be limited to the calendar weeks before and after the Olympic Games or major championships. Ladies and gentlemen, the world and Lithuania are standing on a threshold of existential ruptures. Today, the question is whether we will manage not to cross the tipping point beyond which geopolitical processes, climate change, or other unknown challenges will become uncontrollable. It is not a privilege to perform the responsible duties of a head of state in such times. It is a tough daily job and a great challenge. It is an enormous personal responsibility to the nation that has entrusted me, and a mission for all of us to stand on the right side of history. Today I took an oath to do that, so help me God. Thank you.
Dėkojame Jo Ekscelencijai Respublikos
I thank His Excellency President of the Republic, Gitanas Nausėda, His Excellency President of the Republic and the First Lady.
Gerbėmieji, Seimo posėdis skirtas
Ladies and
Respublikos
gentlemen, now I close the sitting of the Seimas as dedicated for the swearing-in of Gitanas Nausėda, President of the Republic of Lithuania. Thank you.